verifiable manner. When people are studying science in general, that somebody is a doctor, somebody is an engineer, but the spirit of science nobody follows. It has not percolated to even 1% of the very
So
scientists.
do you really think like this is ultimate truth? But it may be nearer to the truth.
It
the
is
truth the way the scientists have perceived it.
Yes, and
But
there's-
at some point it changes, so it cannot be the whole truth.
yes. But the beauty of science is science tells that it approximates the truth and
Yeah.
forever expands that approximation to a greater degree. It's like this: we are seeing a scale, right? And it's 15 centimeter. The moment we see through a finer instrument, no matter 15.1, the moment we go back still finer, we find it's not 15.1. It is something. There is a wide world between its edge and this thing, the atomic world. And you look into the atom, you find its gaps. It's a neutron and a proton held together, and miles and miles away some electrons are. It's empty space.
So there is also a possibility, even in the atom that we understand today, that many particles there may be many more we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
So we are not quite completely to the truth.
Yeah, we approximate.
Yeah.
Science always tells that whatever we know is approximate to truth. There could be a totally, wholly different
But
way.
the way it is told is actually the last truth or final truth.
No, the real scientists never do that. The real scientists like, something that is the Einstein had told that as far as I understand mathematics, the real theorems of mathematics are not reality. And the real reality is not mathematics. Something like that he tells about. But it is one of the day mankind understands the true spirit of science, that is the ultimate morality. And that is the ultimate religion also. People are not following because they don't understand science.
I mean, I just came to the same kind of conclusion like you were talking today, the Sunya, and you said about Sunya and also tell about infinity. And that's kind of, even Viktor Frankl says something in relation to that. And what
Okay, yeah.
Swami Chidananda is saying,
Okay.
good saying is Chit and Anand, which is existence and bliss. And then there is no I in it, because it's kind of, it's all pervasive. There is no kind of physical boundary to it. And that should be ultimate kind of
Yeah, but when the
thing. And how does science go? I can't see any way science or mathematics trying to prove that ever.
No, but the point is, they will definitely, they are not proving it. The very fact that all the Eastern mystical fellows, they tell it in a vague kind of way, without a direction, without a concrete action plan as to how to go about it. See,
Can I stop you there?
Yeah.
Now the same thing, like you said, people saw that thing, and how many years before 1,000 years they knew that.
We have to go
I'm
now, isn't it?
fascinated by this management
Otherwise you will be
guru,
late now. We will go by taxi. आप अपना मीटिंग में जाइए फिर.
and they come to the same thing, saying that with this thing of I'm not the doer, and your learning organization, which is Peter Senge, you have read about him. He is saying I'm not the doer. That's what. So it's not the individual leader that's doing it. It's the whole organization has to own up to it. So ultimately you're not the doer, because when things go wrong, either you try to blame somebody or you blame yourself. But in actual fact, you shouldn't be doing that. What you should be getting is learning. Whole organization learns from it and then adapts to it. That's what the whole. And he bases it to the Eastern philosophy.
no,
And this is management guru basing his observation on.
that is okay. But the point is, many people refer to the Eastern philosophy or mysticism, and there is a tendency among many scientists, some of them are top grade, to give a reference to this, because the Eastern mysticism is so vague and so mysterious and indefinite that there is almost everything in it for everyone. So,
That's why the Veda gets
hello,
lost.
हाँ आया मैं आ रहा हूँ 15 मिनट में आ रहा हूँ उसको बैठा कर रखना. So it's many times I find that so many people take example of Robert Oppenheimer. This guy was the director of Manhattan Project, and in Manhattan Project determined the fate of the
ड्रेस
subsequent fate
पहन
of
के
the
रेडी हो जाओ, छोड़ दूंगा मैं. तब तक सुनते सुनते ड्रेस पहन के रेडी हो जाओ.
नहीं
So-
ये ऐसे ही जाएगा.
ऐसे जाएगा.
So he was an ardent follower
अच्छा.
of Gita. He took
यहाँ
Gita
भी
still.
यही पहना है
He
इसको।
read Gita.
तब तो ठीक।
As in original Sanskrit. Imagine the person who designed the atom bomb, who was instrumental single-handedly for making atom bomb possible. A ardent follower of Gita, so much so that he kept Sanskrit copies of Gita and gave it everywhere. And he justified his exile.
Actually, now we are saying Peter Senge is quoting Gita in his book of the 5th.
That's because Gita is so vague that anybody can quote any part of it. And that is what I found. Hello?
सर
हाँ।
प्रशांत की मीटिंग है 4 o'clock।
हाँ।
तो वो बात नहीं, उसमें उनको मीटिंग में जाने
नहीं,
दो।
सोनी का कैमरा
तुमने पैसे निकाल लिए?
नहीं नहीं
So what happens is that in Gita, like sometimes you wonder this Mahatma Gandhi or lots of people telling great Gita, and I read it. What I found is, I always wanted to unearth the mystery why so many great people quote it, because it has nothing in it except that it can be quoted by almost anybody. Think of Oppenheimer at the end when they did the first explosion. You know that you read this Oppenheimer and the story of the atom bomb. When the first explosion took place on 16th July 1942, just say 6th August the bomb was dropped. So they made a trial and they called it Trinity. It's another holy name, and the bomb exploded. And it is Robert Oppenheimer is an extremely charismatic fellow, person who never read newspaper, shot himself up, was leading a team of 6 Nobel Prize winners, and he himself not a Nobel Prize winner. It's the most successful scientific project ever on Earth. And when the ball expanded, he quoted one, he murmured, and he in fact sang one sloka of Gita. It's in the 11th chapter. It's called. What this thing? It's called Vishwarupa Darshan. So he told, Loka Nasmi Kalaksha Kruta Prabhuta. I have come to this world to destroy the whole world. And in English, if you put it in Google, his sentence is this: I am become the death and destroyer of all worlds. The subsequent sentence is, with you or without you, Arjun, this group will be annihilated. What it means, why it fascinated Oppenheimer, why was Oppenheimer always keeping a copy of Gita in a desert in the Manhattan Project and distributing it? I mean, it's bizarre. He justified this as if he is the lone Arjuna, and then he has to come up with this particular thing and do it, and then he did it. And it was not for Germany. Germany had already surrendered on 1st April. There is no Germany. Then they put it in Japan. And they told it is going to be put on the soldiers and something. But they put it on a city which was earmarked for this bomb. No other bomb should destroy. They had instructed the military command so that we can measure the effect of this exactly. What is the destructive effect? And all this was done without Oppenheimer. Strangely, what Oppenheimer thought happened. Even without Oppenheimer, the bomb will be dropped as if it was. You see, there are 11-part series, some US fellows, some television series called Oppenheimer 1, 2, 3. They run it in NBC or something. I copied it actually from internet and went through it. It's a fascinating story. Everybody claims. That is why I like these fellows like Carl Sagan, scientists, this Stephen Hawking. These people have no illusion about these Eastern religion things. They are all bumped up just to give peace to your mind.
So even your Stephen Covey is quoting Mahatma Gandhi.
The management gurus are not
He's
so
taken
bad.
management.
The-
So he's saying just like Gandhi, you have to keep all your departments clean. Like,
yeah. You read Stephen Covey, you read this Prahlad fellow, you read everybody. You come to India and enter into an organization like Railway, which has 15 lakh people, 1.5 million people. No organization in the world other than Walmart has so many people at any given moment of time. Now you see whether any of the theory of Stephen Covey, Prahlad Kakkar, Lee Iacocca works here or not. Nothing. Here you find every day millions of God-fearing citizens go to the office, worshipping their favorite personal gods, and in the office they turn out to be nothing more than some kind of silo demanding money from people, perfectly knowing they are doing illegal things. How do you reconcile these two things?
Yeah, I also don't understand.
How do you
that.
reconcile these two things?
Yeah, they are very religious people, but the next time they will go
So,
to temple.
They come and do it in a daily basis, in a yearly basis, and they have been taught all good moral things. No father tells
this sounds like one of me.
It sounds like Milgram studies. It sounds like the studies of Milgram. Ordinary people are capable of doing extraordinary evil things. It explains, in fact, I have tried to find out the origin of this, the corrupt mindset, and I traced it to these psychological writers like Zimbardo. There is a fellow called Seligman also. he has written about optimism. It's a theory of optimism. Seligman, you know, Prasan? You remember Seligman's learned helplessness?
Long helpless.
There is Seligman's hypothesis. And then you feel Milgram. Between Milgram, Seligman and Zimbardo, these three psychologists, you get a good explanation. And of course, this guy, you get a good explanation of how evils, genesis of evil.
Did you say about Adler? Who is Adler then?
This guy was a subsequent Jungian. I think.
Adler.
He gave this theory that, see, this Freud gave his theory that everything originates to one particular thing. The second fellow, Jung, he told that it is there is a racial unconsciousness something. The third psychologist, Adler, gave the theory of superiority, power. He tells power drives the whole psychology, other than the bodily things that, or whatever things that, ego, superego and all this business. The three power sources that drive human psychology, these are the theorists. Jung, Adler, this fellow, and then Freud's daughter also. Freud's daughter, she also put for us.
See, Carl Rogers comes somewhere in between in the timeline, because I like him in a way that his theory of kind of individualistic.
Carl Roger is subsequent. After Carl Roger came that personality trait theory, I forgot Carl Roger, that other fellow, there is one guy called Eysenck. After that, one more guy came, and then the great psychologist line is almost finished. No more. Its psychiatry has already taken hold of this psychological domain, and now it is all risperidone, clozapine, amitriptyline, anxiolytics, and Prozacs, and all sorts of things.
Well, all these psychologists are becoming management guru.
Yeah, because they are not training any takers. Who will go to do psychotherapy for 5 hours if you are feeling scared of a snake? Can you give a medicine which can cure it? It's better.
But the medicine will not always cure it.
Yeah, but they have got remarkable cure.